In the heart of Africa, hidden by mystic forests and endless savanna, lay the kingdom of Amani, a place where no man had ever set foot, for it was a realm of women, strong and brave, each one a warrior, a guardian, a sister, and a mother. The kingdom thrived under the watchful eyes of their goddess, Anaya, who blessed the water of a sacred stream. Any maiden who drank from its crystal clear water would soon find herself with a child, and in time gave birth to a daughter, continuing the cycle of life in Amani. The queen, Nia, was the fiercest of them all, leading her people with wisdom and courage. Her heart, however, held a secret yearning for something more, something different, a change that even she could not quite understand. One day, as the sun rose high and bathed the kingdom in its golden lights, the unthinkable happened. The sacred stream, the very lifeblood of Amani, began to dwindle, its water receding until nothing but pebbles and sand remained. Panic spread through the kingdom like wildfire. Without the stream, there would be no more daughters to raise, no more warriors to train, no more life to cherish. The maidens of Amani, faces etched with fear, gathered at the temple of Anaya, their cries of despair reaching the heaven. Moved by their plight, Anaya, in her infinite mercy, reached across the world and brought forth a man from earth. His name was Kofi. Kofi was a poor and miserable man, tired of his own existence. He had recently lost all his properties when a fire razed his big farm to the ground, and his wife, angry and not ready to suffer with him, had taken their two sons back with her to her parents' place. He was angry and decided to end it all. But while contemplating the best way to unalive himself, that was when he saw himself teleported from his world and find himself in the midst of very beautiful ladies looking at him in awe and trepidation. The women of Amani, having never seen a man before, were filled with wonder and curiosity. They danced around Kofi, their laughter ringing through the air, their eyes shining with hope. They showered him with love and attention he had not seen before in his world. But just when all was going fine, there would be a big problem. Queen Nia, filled with jealousy, claimed Kofi for herself, declaring that nobody other than her could approach him. This made the women very sad and unhappy, their hope of ever having children slipping through their fingers before their very own eyes. Even though they were unhappy, they kept their grudges to themselves. And soon enough, the queen got pregnant and she gave birth to a son, a prince, the first man child of Amani kingdom. The kingdom rejoiced. The maidens danced for 7 days to welcome their prince into the kingdom. At least now, when the prince come of age, he will impregnate them and they can bear children and experience the joy of motherhood. But well, the queen would burst their bubble the second time. Oh, women of Amani, don't dare come near my little prince when he is of age, because I am saving him for my daughters, she told them. The women's hearts grew heavy, their dreams of motherhood slipping through their fingers like the sand of the dried up stream. They were angry and frustrated. Our queen is wicked and selfish. She is not fit to be a queen, they thought to themselves. And driven by frustration, some of the women started organizing their own troop to fight the queen and claim Kofi and the young prince for themselves. The queen soon got wind of her subject plot to dethrone her and claim her husband and son for themselves. She was angry and organized her warriors to wipe those women off. But Kofi could not just stand aside and watch these beautiful maidens unalive themselves because of him. So he called them that evening.
Beautiful maidens of Amani, don't fight yourself because of me. In the world where I came from, there are a lot of men like me. There you can find companionship and love.
He told them,
Instead of fighting yourselves, just find a way to visit my world, and all your problems would be solved.
he continued, the women's hearts were filled with great joy. They never knew there was a world where men exist in great abundance. And so they beseeched Anaya, their goddess, begging her to help them get to this world whose tales Kofi had told them. And Anaya, in her mercy, granted them this request. But the journey would not be without peril and grave danger, for between Amani and Earth was a dangerous place, a valley with no end. Anaya granted them a single magic peanut, which, when they cast upon the ground, sprouted into a mystical tree, its branches reaching across the divide, forming a magic bridge. With hearts full of hope and eyes brimming with tears, the women of Amani began their preparation for crossing. The kingdom of Amani was abuzz with whisper and hurried preparation. The women, once bound by tradition, now faced the unknown with a mix of excitement and trepidation. The magic peanut tree stood tall at the border, a passage to a new world. Queen Nia watched from her throne, her heart a storm of emotion. She had a son, a prince, but at what cost? Her people were living, seeking the companionship of men from Kofi's world. She felt a pang of guilt, wondering if her decision had led to this exodus. Meanwhile, Kofi, the man from Earth, became a beacon of hope. His stories of a world filled with men and women living together had ignited a spark within the heart of Amani women. They yearned for a life where they could choose love and build families of their own. As the first group of women approached the peanut tree, they took a deep breath. One by one, they climbed onto the sturdy branches, their eyes fixed on the horizon. This journey was dangerous. The valley below them, a gaping maw, ready to swallow any who faltered. The youngest among them, a maiden named Zuri, stepped forward, her heart raised as she looked at the endless pit. She thought of the stories her mother had told her, tales of courage and bravery. With the spirit of Amani coursing through her veins, she began to cross. The wind howled and the trees swayed, but Zuri pressed on. Behind her, others followed, each step a testament to their determination. But then, tragedy struck. A branch snapped, and a cry pierced the air. A woman fell, her dreams vanishing into the abyss. The other froze. Fear gripped them, but Kofi's voice rang out, urging them to continue, to not let their sister's sacrifice be in vain. And so they moved forward, each step bringing them closer to their new destiny. As the sun rose above the horizon the following morning, the first of the Amani women reached the other side. They stepped onto the soil of a new world, tears of joy and sorrow mingling on their cheek. They had made it. but they would never forget those they had lost. But even though they crossed successfully to the other side, they would soon be met with a great problem that will make them wish they never crossed that bridge in the first place. You see, the first kingdom they arrived at after crossing was Keremo, a kingdom filled with vibrant and handsome men, and they fell in love with the men immediately. This was the first time they were seeing other men apart from Kofi. Even the men were head over heels in love with these women because of their great beauty and radiant skin. But what intrigued them the most was the jewelries these ladies were wearing. They were made of precious stones of great value, and the craftsmanship was something they have not seen once. They asked them where they got these jewelries from, and that was when the ladies made the biggest mistake of their life. Oh, you mean this? Where we came from, these stones are everywhere, most especially at the temple of Anaya, our goddess, they told them innocently, not knowing great trouble was just around the corner. The king soon heard that there was a kingdom of women whose streets were paved in gold and precious stones of great value. He desired this great wealth for himself. So he secretly called these men that evening.
I'm aware of the ladies who came into this kingdom recently. You must lure them to show you the passageway to their kingdom so we can loot their land and claim their great wealth for ourselves.
He told them. The men were very happy and agreed to the king's demand, their desire for great wealth overshadowing their love for the beautiful maidens. And they went back that night with their mind made up to betray their lovers. But among these men was one man who did not fully agree with what the king told them. He was Elijah. He was head over heels in love with Zuri, the leader of the beautiful maidens, who had come from a different world. He was not ready to betray his love for this maiden, even if he was offered 1,000 bags of gold. So that night, when he got back home, he told Zuri of the king's plot to ravage their kingdom and steal their gold and precious stones, that she must warn her sisters of the impending danger. Hey, before we jump right back into our story, today massive hug go to Benetta, watching from Florida, and Alima, watching from Gambia. Thank you so much for the love and support. Where are you watching us from? Type it in the comment section so I can send you a special greeting in our next episode. Also like this video and don't forget to subscribe to Anita Chocolates. Alright, back to our story. Zuri was very angry, but she knew she must trade with caution in order not to arouse the suspicion of the king and the other men. So the following day, Zuri informed her sisters of the danger they were in and must return back to their kingdom to warn everyone of the impending danger. It became clear to them, no wonder their lovers were demanding to know the road to their kingdom. They whispered to themselves in their language. Anyway, they promised to take the men back with them to their kingdom the following day. When the king heard of this, he was very happy. He immediately organized his brave warriors to get ready for battle. That night, the maidens served wine to their lovers. Drink on. Tomorrow we will take you back with us to our kingdom, they told them. The men were very happy and drank more wine, and soon they were drunk and senseless. Meanwhile, Elijah and Zuri were making preparation to escape the kingdom without being caught. With the other men asleep, the maidens sneaked out of their huts and joined Zuri. Elijah, being a farmer, knew a secret footpath they would take without being detected. by the king's men, and they embark on their return journey that night. But air will soon break loose when the king discovered the maidens' deceit that night. He immediately sent his warrior after them to search all the exits from the kingdom, and soon they found their foot track. And instantly the king sent his warriors in hot pursuit, and the warriors soon sighted them from afar, already climbing the great branches of the peanut tree to cross over to their world. When the warriors got there, they too started climbing the branches, while sending some warriors back to tell the king to send his troop after them. Meanwhile, Elaye, Zuri, and the other maiden hurriedly climbed through the magic branch of the peanut tree, separating the both world, and finally they arrived back to their kingdom once more. Hungry, tired, and exhausted, even though they were almost fainting, they kept running so they can alert their sisters of the incoming danger. When Queen Nia heard of what was going on, she immediately swung into action. She organized her warriors, and they immediately marched to the bridge. Meanwhile, the first set of the king's army were already in the kingdom, and a fierce fight soon occurred. The king's men were surprised and taken aback by the swordmanship of these female warriors, and in a blink of an eye, the king's men were unalive from the injury they sustained. The queen knew they must destroy the bridge if they loved their life, since it would be almost impossible for them to withstand the king's army. With a heavy heart and saying goodbye to the world of men, the maiden set the bridge on fire, and it fell into the endless pit with some of the king's men on it. Back at Amani, the maidens were wailing the loss of their sisters who were unalive in the battle. Their sacrifice for the kingdom of Amani would forever be remembered. Queen Nia was very unhappy. She had brought this great suffering to her people because of her greed of keeping Kofi to herself. So she made a decree that Kofi and Elaye were a husband to them all. This decree from the queen brought great joy to the maidens. So every evening, while the cold breeze flowed through their homes, Kofi and Elaye would march through the kingdom, their Odogu standing at attention like a well-trained soldier. They will serve it hot to the beautiful maidens throughout the night. Much to the joy of all the maidens in the kingdom, Kofi and Elaye were very happy. They were living their best life. And by, the maidens started giving birth to more and more male children, and soon Amani was flooded with both sons and daughters, bringing balance to their existence. So here bring our story to a close. Thank you for watching today's episode from Anita Chocolate. What did you learn from this story? Share it with us in the comment section. Like and share this video with your loved ones. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. It really gives me great joy. See you in the next episode. Bye.